Okay, so this is just a quick warm up here. We have my nicely chewed pencil. We're gonna go with our 3 pencils, our light pencil, our middle pencil, and our dark pencil. That's a 2H, an HB, and a 4B. We did review this in the last video. So here we go. I'm gonna do an A-OK symbol with my hand. So here's what I'm gonna be drawing. Now, this is a review of the observation that we did regarding the tree. Step 1. I'm going to do a stick figure, so just lines. It's going to be sketchy, it's going to use proportion, it's going to be super light, and I'm not going to include any details. So here, if I'm doing A-OK, and it's okay that my hand's off to the side, it's okay if you zoom in on just the drawing there. Thank you. So thank you to my cameraman. So now I'm going to use lines, and they're going to be kind of light, so it's okay to zoom in, and I'm looking back at my hand here to see so I'm looking back at my hand here to see this empty space. So I'm just describing that nice and loose. And now here I'm looking at this angle of the finger itself. So this angle is here. There's the angle. Looking at the angle of the finger, right? And then the angle of this finger, okay? And the angle of that finger. Then here I'm looking at how my hand is kind of like a big old triangle, right? And I'm including actually a lot of loose sketchy lines here. And I know that the fingers are eventually going to become kind of like finger segments. And I can kind of sketch that out a little bit. And then I want to look like here, like how far does the tip of this finger come out, right? So it comes out quite a bit. And then how far does the tip of this finger come out right there? See, I already abandoned that line right there. And that's just the pinky line right there. Okay, personally, this is enough for me. I feel that I have a nice, light, loose, sketchy example. So now I'm gonna get into the contour drawing. Here is step 2. We're going to do close observation. We're going to apply the 80-20 rule, looking at our paper 80% of the time, looking at our subject 80% of the time, and looking at our paper 20% of the time. We're going to use a medium pencil. We're going to use darker lines, and we're definitely going to use contour lines. So now is the time to zen out. This is just a warm-up that we're doing right now. And I'm just really just constantly glancing back at my hand, because otherwise I wouldn't even say that I would really know what this looks like. And finding these lines, finding the lines that seem to work the best here, looking for not what I think it maybe should look like. There is this funky little, I'm just gonna go back over this. There's this funky little way that my knuckle is moving. Noticing that my thumb here is actually coming out a little bit. I'm not actually touching my thumb. Okay, and I don't love that line, so I'm just gonna go right back over it again. Doing the nails, the finger segments, really noticing, okay, what can I see from my angle? You might actually be seeing a little bit different angle of my finger, but I'm glancing here, glancing back, and I just see like the teeniest bit of the pinky. Okay, now we're on to step 3, all right? Step 3, you're going to refine your contour. You're going to add weight to your lines. You're going to add light, shadow, and more details. So now is the time that I'm going to go ahead and pick up. This is just a 4B, but you can use a 6B for this too. And so now we can zoom in real tight to the drawing. And now I can really get into like adding, where do I see light and shadow? Like it looks to me like this part of the thumb is like a little bit darker. And I am actually picking up my pencil just a little bit here now because I really already have this nice, beautiful contour drawing that I did in step 2. But now I can come in and refine. I think that knuckle was just a little bit small. And because I did that outlining step, now I have scale in proportion. And now, I mean, that's the time, you notice I did pick up my finger, or excuse me, pick up my pencil, my whole hand on that one. And I'm just gonna, it's because like I already have those lines, and it's because I was really moving to a different part of the drawing. And here, if I really want to like define this part, I can just keep adding weight to these lines. It doesn't necessarily mean making them thicker. So for example, I see more shadow on this finger underneath, but not as much on top. So I'm going to leave the top one lighter and the bottom darker. And I actually see that with this finger too. And then maybe if I really want to pump it up a little at the end, I'm going to use my middle pencil here. I'm just going to add in, this is just for fun. Just add in a little bit of background there. I'm not going to shade my actual object. That comes later. Okay, but just adding in that little bit of background to that 80-20 contour drawing that can just really add a lot to it, okay? So this is what we would call the 80-20 contour drawing. I'm just gonna write it real big right here. 80-20, okay? And that is, we are observing, it's 80% observation and 20% paper, okay? And so step 1, to review, stick figure, sketchy, proportion, light, no details in this. It will not resemble anything but a bunch of lines. Step 2, close observation, 80-20, 80% observation, 20% paper, glancing to and from. Use your medium pencil or darker lines if you don't have a medium pencil. Step 2 is definitely using that contour line and using the proportions and the sketchy outline from step 1 as a guide for your contour. Step 3, refine that beautiful contour drawing you have. Add weight to your lines where you think there's light or shadow, and add in more details and even refine those details. All right, happy drawing from observation.